Now, I know a lot of people have been saying, Corbett, you haven't been playing any quote-unquote real countries. And you're right, I haven't, and I still refuse to do so, which is why today we're gonna be forming Carthage, a country that very obviously never existed, was never a real thing. That's actually why we have to go to our game rules here and turn on allow ahistorical formable countries just for us to be able to form Carthage. Obviously because it was never real in the first place. Much like the North Sea Empire and Celtic Union, you can trust me, you don't have to look that up. I would never lie to you. Seriously though, I have been kind of avoiding playing pretty much anywhere that people actually play in EU5. Mostly to save my own sanity because of how many updates they make. I just don't really want to have to interact with the AI all too much. Seeing as I'm running out of Native American isolated countries to play as, this was bound to happen sooner or later. So, Tunis, what's going on in 1337? Well, it's been around 50 years since the 8th Crusade. The Hafsids are still hanging on in Tunis, probably not going to see a big change in that. Now, did anybody here actually care about Carthage as a legacy the same way that several empires tried to claim themselves to be the new Rome? I don't think so. I think most countries at this point genuinely just did not care about Carthage as a concept anymore. But it is funny we get a formable, so you know what? Screw it, that's what we're doing today. What do we actually start with? Several tributaries, multiple vassals. Okay, well, I don't like these tributaries. I think they should become actual vassals. Maybe I don't have to invade them to do that, we'll see. Our Sultan will command the ships, we're gonna go around and raid. Actually, can we raid? If we hire privateers, yes. Okay. I'm actually going to wait a few years before we pick up any of these crown reforms. None of these are particularly attractive, and we get some new ones in a couple of years. We'll go ahead and actually do forced slave conversion, mostly so that we can try to promote them into peasants. We'll probably have to wait to go to war with Tlemcen. Don't really feel like Nosy being that. So in the meantime, we'll make our subjects happy and build up whatever we can make money off of. Never mind, that's a lot sooner than I thought it would be. Works for me. It kind of sucks that we start with like literally 3 characters. 2 of them in the cabinet. One of them is the guy in charge of the navy. That's gonna be the king. Mostly so we can push more towards naval, or at the very least, not push towards land. So I guess it's time for us to hire someone. At least it only costs us some legitimacy now. You'll have to do, I guess. We might as well accept the culture. We can accept both, actually. Or even all 3. It does feel a little rude of me to snipe all of Tlemcen, well, pretty much all of it, out from underneath Morocco. But at the same time, EU5 is now a 4x game, so skill issue. Ooh, we have a new Sultan. Oh, wait, what is this? Okay, hey, hold on. This option is pretty bad. This option seems less bad if Morocco does not plan to kill me. If they do, well, it'll be the last thing they try. So honestly, it doesn't matter that much. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, we'll just kill him, I guess. I did actually forget to deal with the estates. I'll give this to the commoners. I don't really end up taxing the clergy anyway. Hey, Burgers, do you want fewer taxes, actually? Yeah, you can have that. Oh wow, Morocco's planning to invade me. That's crazy. We could have seen that coming. Alright, let's change that. And let's actually crank up Diplo spending. Because I hate never having enough diplomats. Coup attempt. No, that makes sense, actually. We lost so much legitimacy. To be fair, this guy is a usurper. It's not exactly surprising. Ooh, and a breakout of smallpox. That's lovely. Seeing as we're not fighting Egypt anytime soon, I guess it makes the most sense to rival Morocco. For this first parliament, we're going to focus on making sure we have good laws. Starting, of course, with the distribution of power, we're going to change this away from traditional to favor the ruler, of course. Age of Renaissance, I think we are going to pick up the admin focus again. If we didn't already have the ability to hire privateers, I might go Diplo focus just for the roleplay of the run. But since we get to do that by default, we don't need this tech, so we can safely pick up admin, mostly for the proximity cost. Since it is the new age, we can also take a look at what we have here now. I should mention, on top of trying to form Carthage, we're actually going to try and become Carthage. Now, what does that mean? How do we become Carthaginian? Well, step 1, we have to become a republic. Now, that is not an easy thing to do in EU5. We need 95 towards plutocracy, and the burghers need at least 43% to state power. Only then can we actually become a republic, so we're going to start with that early. We are going to stack as much plutocracy progress as we can get, which really just means we're going to start with plutocratic ethos. And then I guess also for the time being, we could pick up royal decree, just to claw back a little bit more crown power. Looks like we already have a revolt to put down. That's great. Hey, at the very least, it's not going to call Morocco in. Honestly, I kind of hate that mechanic. The truce with Morocco is now done. They're not declaring war on me, so I guess I have to be the one to do it. We'll use the parliament to push this through and use the support for a CB. We will take the rest of Tlemcen, and there's no reason to delay. We might as well declare war, except we have good relations. So maybe there is a reason to delay. One of the things that's really unfortunate about playing over here, North Africa, is that we really just don't have any lumber. There's really nothing here. There's some in Morocco, like a pittance of lumber, a hint of lumber, a suggestion even. But if I want to expand my trade goods, that's going to cost lumber, and we're going to have to import a whole lot. Otherwise, the price will be ridiculous. Oh yeah, you know what else is a good idea? I should build a hospital in here, just in case, you know. Oh, I might be stupid, of course. We have lumber mills. Forgot about those. Oh, of course, the air is slow, that's great. We might need that republic sooner than I thought. Oh, it's that time of the game again. Okay, well, we'll wrap this up pretty quick, hopefully, in theory. All right, Morocco, we're going to take stuff along this side here. Well, we might take this, actually. Like a little foothold we can have in Iberia, just so that we don't really have to do a naval landing. Looks good to me. Now, I don't know if this is actually going to work, because I never actually do this, but I've decided to halt all trade in the country. No automatic trade, no capacity being used. I'm sure it's still going to spread. It's pretty inevitable, but maybe it spreads a little less. Yeah, I don't know what I expected. We're going to stop taxing the burghers so much because we might want to do a few things with this, maybe. Of course, we'll go with segregate the infected. I think it's probably the best one. Oh, right, they never fixed this bug, did they? If it disappears, then you just don't get the stability back. Infinite stability loss generator, my favorite. Anyway, we'll max out stability spending. Do this again. Do this. Do that. We do also want to isolate the cities, so we're going to bribe the burghers a little bit. We're actually going to give them formal guilds for the additional plutocracy gain. That'll give them plus 15%. Actually, let me bribe you first, and then we'll do that. Up to 75%. We can go into here and isolate the cities. All things considered, that was actually a really good outcome of this plague. We only lost around 300,000 people, which is, I think, less than 20% of our population. Comparing that to everybody else, I mean, Castile lost about 45%, I think. Aragon, I think, lost around 40%. Naples around 45%. We've made it out quite well at the end, actually. Ooh, hey, hold on. So we have the first son, who is a moron. The first daughter, who is also slow. But then, hold on, this kid is gifted. I need to make him the heir somehow. How expensive is this? 50 stability. Okay, well, we're gonna have to wait a little bit. As for this parliament, we probably can't really pass much, but I do want some laws. Okay, we're gonna do two things with this. We're gonna get another law change from Parliament. This time I'm thinking we're gonna pick up itinerant court, get a little bit of that reduced proximity cost through land. It also helps remove some of that aristocratic progress. And what I want to start building a whole lot of is these, hold on, where are they? These fishing villages, because they'll give us sailors and we want ships. Now, of course, this leaves us with not much conquering that we're able to do. So, we have our tributary here, Zab. I think I'm going to go ahead and rage bait them so that I can declare war for a disloyal subject CB. We'll siphon income a couple of times. You know what we could be doing a lot more of? Slavery. It was only a matter of time. This video couldn't stay monetized forever. Speaking of which, Patreon in the description. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and probably declare war on the Byzantines just to raid them. I'm also going to start making Zab upset because they are a tributary and I would like to annex them. We stole some territory. I might do it again, actually. Nah, whatever. I'll just seize a bit of money. Now we can make a CB for disloyal subject. We want to pass another law with this parliament, away from nobility-controlled to burgher-controlled mining operations. We'll get a whole lot of plutocracy progress from that. Now, we've got a couple of wars to fight through. First, we need to go to war again with Morocco. They just lost a massive war against Castile, so it should be pretty easy. A new outbreak, smallpox, let's go. 74,000 dead, lovely. I think that's a little more than 70,000. That's almost an entire Black Death by itself. Sorry for having fun, my bad. So, Morocco, you can basically, you can have this. I think that's fine. It's not a big deal if we've lost all that population. After all, we can simply go and get some more. The only downside to doing a whole bunch of raiding is that it tends to move the capital around because you depopulate areas. It's really not that much population, but it'll have to do. Just the first raid among many. We'll take one location so that we can have a border to actually take stuff with, and then money, war reps, and the rest doesn't really matter. We do want more law changes. I think we're going to swap from protect trade routes, which is fine, but ultimately what we really want is more naval progress. Another outbreak. Of course, why not? Waiter, more disease outbreaks, please. The population isn't low enough yet. Okay, anyway, we are going to annex this disloyal subject. There we go, that's looking a lot nicer. Now, just to make sure the Iberians don't declare war on me, I will ally Mamluks. Although, actually, I think we are a little bit stronger than they are. Castile, Aragon, Portugal, and Sicily combined, allegedly, are not as strong as we are. If I get the opportunity, I might even go to war with Naples. Maybe. Really depends on that navy, which is why, of course, we need to make more fishing villages. Now, I've been throwing these down in locations that I don't plan to turn into cities or towns. Anything with a really high value, so like the gems over here, for example, I've just been stacking these. Except, of course, it's not being employed because I haven't been subsidizing them. Oops. But I'm sure you get the gist. Oh, is that another outbreak? We're so back. I love having typhus, measles, malaria. I think we had influenza for a quick second there. That's really cool. Okay, so what else can we do? We can raid more people. But who are we going to raid? The English, maybe? Can I do that? Probably not. Denmark. Absolutely. Ooh, I get to call a jihad? I didn't even look at all these. We can invite figures, but you need -50 mysticism versus jurisprudence. It's kind of a lot, isn't it? If you can't tell, this is the first time in EU5 I've ever played as a Muslim country. So let me see what this actually does. That's a horrible idea. Oh, that's so bad. It's like just an instant war. That's crazy. I thought it would give me a CB or like it would invite other Muslim countries. It's just an instant war. That's literally it. Okay, well, it's a good thing I saved before doing that. We do have that CB, so we can go to war with Denmark. Now, who else could we actually raid? I am kind of considering England, although they do have quite a few forts. Not that many, though. I'll consider it. Look how the turntables. Raiding isn't as funny anymore now, is it? Alright, Denmark, I'm gonna take one island from you. Well, money, war reps, and a humiliate. Sounds good to me. You know, Serbia actually doesn't look too strong. Same with Iberia, who I think we're just going to fully annex. Ooh, new sultan, who kinda sucks. That's cool, that's great. We'll put him in charge of the navy, and hopefully he gets an admiral trait. The last guy had an army trait, and that was kind of a problem. Oh, he does get an admiral trait. That's what we like to see. I think we'll just vassalize this guy, it's a lot cheaper. Although it would take him a while to actually like me. That's fine, whatever. These fishing villages have also been kinda useful for getting ourselves a little bit of maritime presence, which I hadn't even considered, but we actually get it completely for free just from this one location over in this sea tile. I might have been underestimating these just a little bit. The harbor capacity and maritime presence they provide both help to actually boost the maritime presence as a whole. We're always in need of more population, and Serbia doesn't have that many forts. I think I'd like to clean up the rest of North Africa, just take Morocco and their vassals. So we'll do that with a parliament, just get a quick CB. Now we can begin to embrace a couple of institutions. Of course, I have been pushing towards innovative so that we can make that as cheap as possible. We're going to start with banking in this case. And what I really want is a dock, and then these three down here. And then, of course, also a pound lock canal for the capital, and then some literacy, and then we'll just wait for that. Then we'll wait for these other institutions to spread a little bit more and embrace them as well. Alright, Serbia, you have no islands, so don't actually care. We've pretty much taken every slave we can take out of Serbia. We have Mediterranean galleys now, that's cool. Unfortunately, I don't think we have enough sailors to actually upgrade all of these. Alright, so England has just lost a war to France. Their navy has recovered a little bit, but for the most part, I think we can probably at least make a landing. And if we can do that, England is relatively open, sort of, to be raided. Kind of. Alright, we've just gotten naval to past 50. Super useful because we are going to swap off of Royal Decree, and we're going to pick up Harbor Administration. Now, as much as I'd like to enter London and start raiding everything over here, I don't think it's worth my time. Probably better if I just move in here, occupy all the little local regional capitals. In fact, it's not really a big deal if they reoccupy things. I'm not here for war score and territory, I'm already taking what I want. Alright, maybe it's time for me to do something useful. We've pretty much no antagonism, I've just been doing nothing. Alright, let's peace out with England. I think we've kidnapped, or peacefully transferred around 20,000 English people back to Tunis. And they don't stand to gain much from staying here, so I'm just going to take one island, of course. We'll take war reps, we'll take money, but humiliate them just for fun. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, let's not forget that we do have this CB against Morocco. I'm sure my subjects can probably handle that for me. Morocco, I'm pretty sure we can just full annex and we will get their subjects. Although Tafilalt is a little bit big. We'll take this and make it into another subject. We might as well re-release Morocco, and then also Suat over here. But now we're forced to pick a new rival. I think Naples is probably reasonable. In fact, we might just go to war because honestly, Sicily is not very easy to invade. The Papal States have a bunch of money, so they hire mercenaries. Castile is just really strong. Aragon is actually not too bad. If it were just Sicily and Aragon, that wouldn't be a problem at all. But of course, it isn't. So instead, if we're going to start a new war, I might just go after Naples. I think it makes sense for us to take Italy at some point eventually anyway, so we might as well get started. Pick this up, of course, because I also want to actually expand roads over to here. And then we'll just pick up that CB for this province. Hey, what do you know? Okay, maybe we should start that war with Naples. We're gonna call Egypt in as well. I was going to wait until I had enough sailors because we did use quite a few in that last war. But it is what it is. We should be getting docks pretty soon. Anyway. Well, rest in peace, the younger brother who is actually a good heir. Kind of funny that he was still the heir. I mean, our guy just has 4 daughters. I actually don't know what happens in this case. Do we even have an heir? Yeah, it's just some other guy. Okay. Well, I don't actually want him in charge because he has a general trait and I'm still trying to push naval. We'll see how that goes, I guess. Okay, let's see what we can do to this Hungarian army. We don't exactly have the best levies, which does remind me we should pick this up. Just because we should look for the military tactics and the men-at-arms levies. Okay. Wait, that's a mountain? Hold on. Okay, well, we'll see how this goes. That's not too bad, actually. I'm just not entirely sure why, because I don't understand the combat of this game yet. It might have something to do with the large amount of cavalry we have, which is still powerful even if they nerfed it. But I'd say that was a pretty good fight. Invading Italy has also given us a large source of free labor, which is good considering how much we've actually lost. As it turns out, when you do a bunch of slavery, you tend to sell them off, which decreases the population. Surprising, I know. Also, for some reason, people from Denmark don't have immunity to malaria. Couldn't possibly understand why. But yeah, a lot of them are just dying from disease as well. I don't know if that actually is from the malaria, but it happens a lot for some reason. I think there may be a slight bug, perhaps. Because I don't know why my troops are starving when we can just take food from anywhere that we occupy. Like, we own this. We can just take food. Oh, no, we can't. Everyone's starving. Never mind. Okay, I get it now. All of Italy's starving. That's crazy. I don't think we can continue this war because there's no food. Hold on. Okay, let's get some food on these ships. Let's put these guys back together. Unbelievable. All right, we have to feed the army. Actually, can you just do, yeah, Navy logistics? That'd be great, actually. Does this even work? And yet, the army isn't starving, so you know what? I'll take it. Wonder how they're doing in Italy, though. Let's see. Yep, devastation, of course. Oh, no. Oh, no. I wonder if you can tell when this war started. Fairly realistic, though. I mean, yeah, a lot of people starved during wars. Speaking of starvation, hold up. We need more food. Hopefully that's not tanking the food back home. That's probably fine. We also have docks now. I'd love to build a few of them. By a few, I mean literally as many as possible. Alright, we can peace with Hungary, which will give us, wow, okay, 100% war score, sure. I think I'm mostly interested in taking stuff that has a little less control and is coastal. This is probably fine. I didn't actually check the antagonism, though. Yeah, that's not ideal. It's probably fine, though. Probably. I still really don't have enough characters to create vassals, so it's just a bunch of fiefdoms. It's a really ugly looking map. Oh well. It's not even technically border gore, it's just I need to take Sicily, that's it. Which might have just become a little bit more possible. Let's see, what's going on over here? Ooh, something's going on over here. Losing a war against England, that's crazy. And really embarrassing. And a great opportunity for me. Well, maybe not that great, but we'll figure something out. First, let's pick up Renaissance for more research speed. We do need a little bit of time to recover. Yeah, my diplo capacity also sucks. I will fabricate that CB real quick on Sicily, just so that we have it. I guess the best place for it is probably over here, just because there's no fort. Also, what? Now, I know sometimes when I'm playing EU5 or any Paradox game, really, it makes me feel like I'm going insane, but I'm fairly certain this time that I didn't take Granada from Aragon or Castile, so I don't even know what's going on here at this point. Who are you? You're not even a subject of mine. I mean, you are, but I don't know how. I'm not at war with Castile. Oh, but you're at war with Castile. I see. Because they're actually a subject to my subject. Wait, are you at war with Castile? Oh no. Yeah, this could be bad. Or it could be good. Who knows? We'll find out, I guess. Actually, wait, could I intervene in this war? No. Well, that sucks. What about this one? No. Alright, I guess there really is nothing we can do. What is happening anymore, man? They just took my subject. You can't have anything these days. Well, I guess that's that. Alright, well, that's cool, I guess. Not sure what they gave up to England in that war, because clearly they lost it, but it doesn't really matter. Main point is, they did get their alliance with Sicily broken, and that's cool. So I will declare war on them once I upgrade my navy. Okay, antagonism has ticked down slightly. The ships have been repaired for the most part. I think we can probably fight this, even though it says that we're weaker. It's not by much. Besides, we literally just have to land in Sicily. It's not a big deal. I don't know if this is gonna be a good fight, actually. What do you have, a bunch of light ships? It should work, maybe. That wasn't so bad. Although they do have 61 ships here. Oh, they're all transports. Okay, it doesn't matter. Literally fake ships. Really wish my subjects wouldn't do that, though. Actually, could I get you guys to not do that? Now, I don't really want anything from Aragon, except for maybe one thing. There's a silver mine here that I do want. Otherwise, just some money. And from Sicily, of course, we will take the entire island, plus their little subject here, because I can't be bothered to own a one-location subject. How bad is this? It's not great. Yeah, there's no way of getting around the fact that this is pretty bad. But it could be worse. Oh yeah, we also got Athens in that, didn't we? That's cool. Well, maybe it's not. Considering I do still need to release Sicilian subjects. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just integrate it. Who knows? Either way, we are going to form Carthage. I like that we have this little blurb about forming the country. The foul dogs of the Roman Empire burned the Carthaginian homeland to the ground, trying to erase every single memory of this ancient civilization. Gone may be their identity, culture, and religion, but as long as a single Roman pretender exists, so does the need for a foil to these charlatans. We shall become the scourge to all those fools who glorify the Romans. We shall become the heirs of Carthage. Just no one tell them how that ended. Anyway, we do get a couple of advances, trade capacity, olives output. It's kind of funny actually, 30% is a lot. Mercenary maintenance could be useful. Shipbuilding speed, 20% sailors, exploration cost, and monthly progress, that's kind of useful. Colonial range, okay, so we can have a decent colonial game. Wine output, trade efficiency, and stability investment. I have to say, quite a bit weaker than the Roman advances. But this is a tier 2, which is kind of weird. I feel like this could reasonably be a tier 3 country, but anyway. We are now Carthage, with the city of Tunis now being Carthage. Probably didn't say that right, but either way, pretty cool map color. Exactly what you'd expect for Carthage. Either this or like a light blue, in my opinion. Now, I think we are going to call it here for today. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get enough plutocracy progress to actually become a republic. It's just really hard to become a republic in this game. We need 95 towards plutocracy, which is a lot. I feel like you shouldn't need 95. 75 might be reasonable. Maybe even just 70. But either way, if I do continue this campaign, which may or may not happen, depends on your support on this video, then we could do a second part where I do try to take the rest of the Carthaginian Empire as it was back then. So that would, of course, include parts of Iberia, all of Sardinia, and Corsica as well. And maybe become a republic, possibly. It's not impossible, it just takes a long time. I think you need to have the burghers in parliament or something. I think you also need a burgher as a cabinet member, and then there's a particular parliament issue you can take, which can move you like 5 towards plutocracy every time you succeed. Still gonna take a long time, but apparently that's one method of becoming a republic. Either way, I hope you enjoyed watching. There may or may not be a part 2 to this. Also, I apologize for the lack of uploads recently. I went on break for the holidays. I've been having a great time, but it has sort of reduced the upload schedule. I hope everyone also had a great time over the holiday season, and judging by when I'm recording this, I hope you all have a wonderful new year. And of course, a fantastic day. Big thank you to the patrons for this month. Everybody here does get early access to videos for as low as $1, but I'd like to give a special thank you to those who decide to donate more. So thank you, Erica, Born to Dunk, Gallo4, Gorka Maistegi, Licka Becker, Mikhail Sample, Nick Steffel, Princess Rhea, Q-Brute, Spyro, Tillman Augustin, A.G. Ferrero, Ben Mottram, Quiet Guy, Rosset, Ambient Cyan, Elysia Tutz, James Levy, Luke78776, Stalin DLRP, and Robert.